Long ago, magic flowed freely through the world. It was a time when the very air shimmered with enchantment, and the land was alive with mystical energies. The rivers glowed with an ethereal light, and the forests whispered secrets to those who would listen. This was an era unlike any other, where the boundaries between the mundane and the magical were blurred, and wonders were an everyday occurrence. It was a time of wonder. The skies were often painted with hues of magic, and the nights were illuminated by the glow of enchanted flora. Every corner of the world held a new marvel waiting to be discovered. From the highest mountain peaks to the deepest ocean trenches, magic was the lifeblood of the world, infusing every creature and plant with its power. Powerful mages called Mage kings ruled the land. These were no ordinary rulers, they were beings of immense power and wisdom, each commanding the respect and awe of their subjects. Their robes were woven with spells, and their castles were fortresses of magic, glowing with an aura that could be seen for miles. The Mage kings were the guardians of this enchanted world, their decisions shaping the fate of all who lived within it. They used their magic for good or evil. Their stories became legends. In grand halls, they cast spells that could heal or harm, create or destroy. Battles between these powerful beings were spectacles of light and energy, their duels reshaping the very landscape. Some Mage kings were benevolent, using their powers to protect and nurture, while others sought dominion and control, their ambitions leading to epic conflicts that would be remembered for generations. These tales are passed down through generations. The stories of the Mage kings, their triumphs and tragedies, are etched into the very fabric of history. Around fires, elders recount these legends to wide-eyed children, the glowing pages of ancient books revealing secrets of a bygone era. These narratives are more than just stories, they are lessons, warnings, and inspirations for those who hear them. They remind us of the power of magic and the responsibility that comes with it. The symbols that glow in the sky are not just remnants of the past. They are reminders of the potential within each of us. Wise mages teach young apprentices the delicate balance of wielding such power, emphasizing the importance of using it wisely and with care. The legacy of the Mage kings is a testament to the dual nature of magic, its ability to create and to destroy. This is the story of the three most powerful Mage kings, Alaric of the north, Lyra of the west, and Zane of the east. Each of these mages was a master of their domain, their powers reflecting the unique characteristics of their regions. Alaric, with his command over ice and snow, ruled the frozen north with a firm but fair hand. Lyra, the enchantress of the west, was known for her mastery of nature and the elements, her magic bringing life to the forests and fields. Zane, the stormbringer of the east, wielded the power of the skies, his spells capable of summoning storms and controlling the winds, and Zane of the east. Together, these three Mage kings shaped the destiny of the world. Their alliances and rivalries, their battles and bonds were the forces that drove the history of this magical age. Each decision they made, each spell they cast had far-reaching consequences, altering the course of events in ways that are still felt today. They shaped the destiny of the world. The grand battles they fought, the alliances they forged, and the wisdom they imparted have left an indelible mark on the world. The landscape itself bears the scars and blessings of their actions, a testament to their immense power and influence. As we look back on this age of wonder, we are reminded of the incredible potential within us all and the responsibility that comes with wielding such power. King Alaric ruled the north, a land of ice and snow. The north was a realm where the winters were long and harsh, and the summers were brief and cool. The landscape was dominated by towering mountains, frozen rivers, and endless fields of snow. Despite the challenging environment, the people of the north were hardy and resilient, thriving under the wise and benevolent rule of their king. He was a wise and just ruler. His people loved him. King Alaric was known for his fairness and his deep sense of justice. He would often walk among his people, listening to their concerns and offering solutions. His presence brought comfort and hope to the villagers, who knew that their king truly cared for their well-being. Alaric had a special connection to his land. He could feel the heartbeat of the north, sensing the subtle changes in the environment. This connection allowed him to predict storms, understand the needs of the land, and ensure that his kingdom remained in harmony with nature. He controlled ice and snow. With a mere thought, he could shape the frozen elements to his will. His powers were a gift from the ancient spirits of the north, who had chosen him to be the guardian of their sacred land. He could summon blizzards and freeze rivers with a flick of his wrist. These abilities were not just for show. They were vital tools in maintaining the safety and prosperity of his kingdom. When invaders threatened, he would unleash the fury of the north upon them, driving them back with relentless storms and impassable ice. He used his powers to protect his people from invaders and natural disasters. Whether it was a marauding band of raiders or a sudden avalanche, King Alaric was always ready to defend his people. His magic was a shield that kept the north safe from harm. He was known as Alaric the Just. His reputation extended far beyond the borders of his kingdom. Tales of his wisdom, bravery, and magical prowess spread to distant lands, earning him the respect and admiration of many. His name was whispered with respect throughout the land. In every village and town, people spoke of King Alaric with reverence. They told stories of his deeds, his kindness, and his unwavering commitment to justice. The northern lights, which danced across the sky on cold winter nights, were said to be a sign of his enduring legacy, a reminder that the spirit of Alaric the Just would always watch over the north. Queen Lyra ruled the west, a land of ancient forests. These forests were not just any ordinary woods, they were filled with ancient trees that whispered secrets of the past and held the wisdom of ages. The air was always fresh, filled with the scent of pine and blooming flowers, and the ground was carpeted with lush green moss. She was known for her beauty and her connection to nature. Her long flowing hair was often adorned with flowers, and her eyes sparkled with the light of the sun filtering through the leaves. People from far and wide would come to see her, hoping to catch a glimpse of her radiant beauty and to feel the calming presence she exuded. Lyra had a deep connection to all living things. Birds would perch on her shoulders and deer would approach her without fear. She could often be found walking through the forest, surrounded by a myriad of animals that seemed to understand her every word. It was said that she could communicate with them, sharing their joys and sorrows. She could speak with animals, control plants, and even heal the sick with a touch. Her abilities were a gift from the ancient spirits of the forest, who had blessed her with powers to protect and nurture the land. She would often use her powers to help those in need, healing the sick and injured with a gentle touch and a kind word. She was a fierce protector of her people and of the forests she ruled. When danger threatened her land, she would stand tall and unyielding, ready to defend her home with all her might. Her bravery and strength were known throughout the kingdom, and her people loved and respected her for it. She was known as Lyra the Wise. Her wisdom was sought by many, and she would often spend hours in deep thought, contemplating the best course of action for her people and her land. Her decisions were always fair and just, and she ruled with a gentle but firm hand. Her name was a symbol of peace and harmony. Under her rule, the land flourished and the people lived in harmony with nature. The forests thrived and the animals lived without fear. Queen Lyra's legacy was one of love, wisdom, and a deep connection to the natural world. Her story would be told for generations, a reminder of the power of kindness and the importance of living in harmony with the world around us. Emperor Zayn ruled the East, a vast desert land. He was a powerful sorcerer, feared for his ambition and ruthlessness. Zayn commanded the power of the two suns. He could conjure firestorms and unleash scorching heat upon his enemies. He expanded his empire and conquered neighboring lands. He was driven by a thirst for power. He was known as Zayn the Mighty. His name inspired fear throughout the land. The three Mage kings lived in uneasy peace for many years, but their different philosophies and their ambitions eventually led them to conflict. It began with a disagreement over a small border town, then escalated into a full-blown war. The world watched in fear. Each king believed in their own righteousness. They refused to back down. The conflict seemed inevitable. Section 6. The Shadow Alliance. Unbeknownst to the three Mage kings, a new threat was emerging from the shadows, a group of dark sorcerers. They called themselves the Shadow Alliance. Their goal was to plunge the world into darkness. They planned to exploit the conflict between the Mage kings. The Shadow Alliance sent spies, they whispered lies and sowed discord. Their aim was to weaken the kingdoms and seize power for themselves. Section 7. The War of the Three Kingdoms. The war raged for years, devastating the land. Each king unleashed their full power, but none could gain the upper hand. Alaric's blizzards met Zane's firestorms, creating monstrous storms. Lyra's healing magic couldn't keep up with the casualties of war. The world descended into chaos. The people suffered, but the Mage Kings were too blinded by their own pride to see the true danger. Section 8. A fragile peace. As the war reached its peak, the Shadow Alliance made their move. They attacked the heart of each kingdom, hoping to seize control. The Mage Kings were caught off guard. They realized their folly. They had been manipulated by a common enemy. They agreed to a truce, a fragile peace, to face this new threat together. The fate of the world hung in the balance. Section 9. Echoes of Legends. The tale of the three Mage Kings is a reminder that even the most powerful can be blinded by pride and ambition. Their story teaches us the importance of unity and the need to overcome our differences in the face of true danger. The echoes of their legend serve as a warning and a guide for generations to come.